Hello, hello, Fear here. Today we're going to be playing some Starcraft 2 Arcade Nexus Wars, the one-lane version. They got lots of different Nexus Wars out there, but this is the one with one lane in the middle. In case you don't know, Nexus Wars is a tug-of-war style map. The objective, destroy the other team's Nexus, which is over here. You do that by building units, and they auto-spawn and run to the center for you and die. But sometimes they kill stuff and give you some income, and as you can see here, we'll follow this Marine, and he kills something, because, nope, he dies. Anywho, as you kill stuff, you get more income and build units. Today, let's just look at the basics of it. You got a pylon here, it's called a ban pi, or P, it upgrades your income. You build that about 10 minutes. Got a hero hall, focus on that at the end, that's an end game thing. You got blink, and then you got this nuke here. See, the nuke, you only got one of those. And you want to use that at the bottom ramp here when everything's clustered up. You'll see that us use it or them use it later in the game. You only get one per game, and you can see how many nukes are left by looking at the stars next to people's name. It disappears once they use their nuke, so that's important to know how many nukes are near the end of the game as we go on. So today we're going to be doing a Terran video. I'm going to show you how to play Terran, and this version is a lot easier on the new players. You won't get yelled at because you're sitting in another team. Most of the time you'll have a good person say, build this, build that, help them out. I'm going to show you what units not to build and what units to build for the Terran. I see a lot of people fall for the same traps. It's unfortunate, but that's just how you're going to get your score down, get your losses, and it does keep track. If you hover over your name up here in the top right, you can see how many wins and losses you have. So you get a rating, and you can check your builders, and you can change your builders as you get more wins and losses and such. But let's just jump right into it. We have the Terran. I'll be playing Terran this whole video and what units to build. So the first units you could build as Terran are the Reaper and Marine. Now, it's not a bad choice to pick one or the other at the beginning. They're both going to do very well. You just don't want to build more than one Marine, and you don't want to build more than one Reaper. You just keep it simple, keep it there. Eventually you're going to have to build a Marine, but a Reaper can be a good starting point, give you a little push if you want to. Now, after you build the Marine, you can build Marauders and Firebats and everything else here, as you can see. But the Marauders, stay away from. That's a pathetic unit, and it won't help you in mid-game to late game. It's not that great. I built a Firebat. Great unit. You don't have to. You can just save up to Ghosts. Now, the Ghosts are the bread and butter of the Terran. That's the unit you want to mass up the most. They attack air and ground. And the reason you want to mass them is here. Let's see if I can click on one. See if I can find one. One's about to spawn here. They have a snipe ability, which does 40 damage to biological units and ignores armor. And it uses mana here, or the energy here, as you can see. And it just keeps going off. Great unit against Zerg. You know, they got Zealots, which are biological. You got other Ghosts. You got Terran and Marines and such. You know, Ghosts are your bread and butter as Terran. They're cheap. They're there, but the Firebat will give you a nice little lead at the beginning if you really want to use him, and then build a Firebat. But they give you 6 income. That's 3 income for every supply. Great unit. Builds fast. And so you can see here everything. About 10 minutes you'll see that I'll build a pylon or so after we push this, and you'll see, oh, here comes a nuke. We'll try to hold it off with some cannons. But as a pro tip, you just want to stay away from the cannons in this version. They don't really help you. It's because of big masses like this. You know, you need about 3 or 4 cannons, and we don't have that here. So they'll just go right through, and we have to use a nuke. Usually you want to call it. And you see here, I will. Nuked it. It destroys everything, but it's gone now. So, and you can see the stars left my name. So you only have 4 in the game. Very useful towards the end of the game. And then I go back to building Ghost. Keep it up. You'll see I built a pylon now. You can upgrade it, but you want to focus on that at the end. Don't worry about it. The main thing you want to do is hold the line with units. As any race, that's all you can really do. So, oh, excuse me. As we continue, we'll build Ghosts. You can click on the Ghost building here, and you'll see upgrades down here in the bottom left for every building that you click on. But stay away from those. Those are endgame things. They waste your income at the beginning. Right now, focus on units and maxing out your supply. These are just going to waste your time. So then we're going to go back to building here. I'll build a factory here soon. Let's go over the other things. You got mutations, which is going to be Zerg buildings. We'll go over them in another video, and Protoss buildings. We'll go over them in another video as well. This is just going to focus on Terran pro tips and what to do. Another basic strategy here is to cancel your units by pressing this button and escape at the same time. They'll all disappear from here, then you re-queue them so they all spawn at the same time, give you a big old cluster, as you can see here. There's a reason you don't want to waste it at the top ramp. They missed the two bottom heads. When you waste here, they kind of build up the units here, and they'll sit here, and sometimes that can cost you like 2 nukes or more. Like it can be really detrimental if you don't waste your time. But you want to queue your units. That's a pro tip. Just press this button, cancel them all, and then re-queue them up, and they'll all spawn at the same time, giving you a nice of an edge. So I just built the factory here. That unlocks a new tier of units. Now, tanks. That's the unit you want to use as Terran. That's it. Last word. Warhounds and Thors. These would be endgame units, but they're worthless. You don't want it. They're not even going to be worth the money that you spend on them. They die too quickly. The reason for that is a tank, when you upgrade it, its attack goes by 3. So we can click on it here, and it does, as you can see, it does 20 damage, attacks 1, 25 versus armored, range set. Great unit versus ground. They don't go into siege mode, says they do, but they don't. Can't even upgrade it. They took that out of the game because it just became they used to have it, but it just became like a line of tanks. Everybody would just get tanks, and it would just be a line, one after another, shelling each other. So, and then the Warhound has a haywire missile ability, only attacks ground and mechanical units, but he only scales with 2 attack when you upgrade him. So near the end of the game, he's doing about 30 damage, and tanks are doing about 50. So stay with tanks. Pro tip of the way. Pro tip of the day. Just stick with the tanks. Thors, they're beefy, but they're slow. They attack slow. They usually end up attacking the air because their air is way longer than their melee attacks on the ground. I don't have any here to show you, but stay away from the Thors. They get countered by pretty much everything. You know, you got lots of Void Rays here. And since it's versus the mass, you want units that attack fast and destroy things fast. You can see the little numbers popping up as more income that I'm getting. So, as Terran, stick with the Ghost and tanks. Thors, you know, you can have like 6 tanks attacking one Thor because he's so big and beefy, taking up the line here. And he's going to die really quick because he's not doing enough damage. His haywire missiles fire really slow, and his main attack fires really slow. So you just kind of, you know, stick with the tanks and ghosts. There's no real, you know, just keep both of them. So, you know, I'll be maxing out here soon. I even started upgrading my pylon. That's something you want to wait until the end to do. And you can also salvage here. Yeah, that doesn't refund any money. Gets rid of the building, frees up some supplies. That's an end game strategy. You learn about that with wisdom as you play more games. You'll see like strategies and units to counter and such like that. But stay away from the Spectre. It's a unit you can queue up as well in the thing. The Ghost Academy does nothing. He's a worthless unit, dies really fast. People think he's good, but when it comes to Sun and Death, which happens at 65, he won't last very long against mass amounts of ghosts. So here I've maxed out, and you see I got a hero haul, and this is where the game gets interesting. This is where the game gets good, because this is the one unit you can micro, your hero. So, and as a pro tip, get Archangel, but we'll go over that later, a little later. And you want to get, as soon as you max out 90-90, get your hero haul, get a hero. Because the heroes are set on a timer, 300 seconds. And since heroes are the bread, if you counter everything perfectly, but the other team's microing their heroes and you don't get any heroes, you're going to lose. Because they're just going to push you back with the heroes. That's how the heroes are what make this game. You really got to use them. But we'll go over them a little bit to show you the good heroes. I always choose Archangel. But you can see here after I get my hero, I'm not even upgrading my units yet. I'm just upgrading my pylon here. And after you get your first hero, it doubles every time. 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000. Usually you can get around, you get 5 heroes if you're careful and use them well, but that's near the end. 50 minutes for Terran. It gets pretty hectic near the end. You can see him fighting up at the top. So let's go over the heroes a little bit. The Archangel here has 2 abilities. You can change it to a fighter. Don't waste your time on that. His attacks are upgraded by air. So, as a pro tip, what you want to do is when you start upgrading, just upgrade the attack. Don't even, you can see here it upgraded a little bit. Don't even worry about upgrading the defense of your units that much. Focus on the attack. You can focus on the air. Excuse me. You can focus on the air attack and the ground attack. Don't upgrade your ghosts. All they are is cannon fodder now. They use their snipe ability, which makes them good, but they're not really doing any real damage to anything, so you don't even waste your income on upgrading them. You can upgrade them way later at the end of the game if it gets down to near Sun and Death, 65-ish, but not now. So don't even bother wasting your upgrades on them. Just upgrade the tanks as a pro tip. Tank attack, air attack. Get your Archangel's damage up, and as you can see here, they'll start. It's their weapon speed's very quick, range 10. They sit back and they use these missile things that do a large area of attack and kill stuff very quickly. They're the best hero. Get Archangels. No, that's the end of it. You can see here, this is the Odin. He has a barrage ability which affects ground units. This is why people think he's the best unit, because he has this little nuke ability that regenerates. It's not like a real nuke though. It only does so much damage, and so that's what really makes him not that great of a unit. And the barrage only hits ground units. Up on the front, he's slow, he's beefy, he'll get targeted. You have a Kerrigan. She has a Blade Storm, but a single target, not that great on the front line. She gets countered by Archangels very easily. And then Zeratul. You'll see me play them a little bit. Zeratul are always invisible. Then they have a lock and a blink ability, which allows you to lock down other heroes. So they're very good at killing other heroes, but if not microed right, they're not going to do much. They'll die very quickly, and but if you micro them well with some Archangels, they can become pretty deadly. So you see here I have 2 Archangels. You see me holding the line very well, and they'll get some Zeratuls for me later on in the game, I think, in this version. So after you're done upgrading your pylon all the way, you want to get some more hero halls so you can upgrade faster. You just click on it and it'll start. See here, it's pretty slow. But if you get more than one, you can have more than one upgrade going at a time, and your income's pretty high, so you can upgrade more. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. I got a hoarse voice today. That's the Odin's nuke, but you see here I'm using my Archangels. They get pretty high, they get pretty good, but as you can see here, the Odin does nothing. You can see here by the kills right here, I'm just way above. Even if you count every one of those as one mineral, I'm way like 200, 300 minerals ahead of everybody else. So there's a barrage you can see, but it doesn't hit these Tempest, so it's not going to help. But you can see my Archangels get up there into the fight, and they're going to kill everything almost instantly because their damage is high. You just keep upgrading damage. I'm not even upgrading defense much for any of these things. You're not going to survive that long. They're just for the damage. And to sit here while my heroes take care of everything. Now this hits air and ground. So as you can see, boom. That's the Archangel's ability. He's just the best hero. Once you get about 3 of these guys, they can hold the line by themselves. And so what I'll do is I think, yep, there's the first Zeratul. You can see here he has a Void Prism which locks down buildings and units. And Blink. He's a hero killer. I use him in unison. I last my team. If you can't micro, ask someone on your team to if they can. If they can't, sorry. But heroes make this game very, very easily. And so the units you want to get for Terran, this is a Terran specific video. Ghost and tanks. Upgrade air attack and ground attack. So you can get these abilities. And you'll see here we'll target their heroes here in a second. But they're building up, and you think this would be the end of it. We'd have to waste a nuke, but that's my missile ability, and so you can get more than one hero, and that's one of the big things a lot of new players don't really seem to get the sense of. You can see here I'm coming up here and I'll get a bunch of kills really fast, and I'm trying to get to their Odins, kill them, and so they can't use that nuke. You never want to, even if you get Odins, don't use the nuke that close to the front line because it's going to get you targeted, and you see the damage it does. But Archangels in general, you'll see way better. You can see my kills are starting to get really high. I got 3 of them now. I don't know what's going on. My voice is so hoarse. So you can see here, targeting their Odins. Can't stop them. You see how fast my Archangels are starting to target their heroes down. Boom. Keep them alive. It's not close to sudden death, so I don't want to be too rash with my Zeratuls if I'm controlling other people's. And my heroes were holding the line. They're getting upset because I'm targeting their heroes. Their Odins are pathetic. They can't hold the line. And eventually, you're just going to see me start flipping this with all my... Boom! You see there? They're just killing... All of my kills are jumping up because I'm killing them so fast with these Archangels, but you got to micro them well. Now, Zeratuls can counter Archangels, and Zeratuls can't attack air, even though they can only attack ground, as we can see here. But they have an AoE ability, which will hit. If there's an air unit floating above a ground unit, it'll hit the air unit too and do 100 damage. So they can be pretty good, but you gotta know how to micro them. You gotta know when to retreat. I use Archangels. Rule of thumb: Archangels. If you can micro your Archangels, you have nothing to worry about from a Zeratul. Even if they come in and you're hiding behind your line here, as you can see, I'm moving with my line. Everyone's getting me Zeratuls, and so the game's continuing on. They're trying to counter but we have ghosts and tanks I got, and we countered them pretty well. Gotta let my voice rest for a second. Um, but we're talking, and I'm targeting. I haven't even, let's see if I started, I haven't even started really upgrading the armor on these guys yet, because I want to focus on heroes. They play such a big part in this game here, and I'm at 8,000. So, but you can see what 3 of these guys can do, but they still have 3 nukes. So I don't want to, a nuke will kill a hero in one hit, and I don't want to waste my heroes to a nuke yet. But some late game strategies that you could do for any race, not just the Terran, is if it starts getting near 65, maybe it's 55, you can start taking your heroes in there, get them to waste their nukes. Let's see how many units they should have done it right here when they were a little more clumped up. But so they have 2 now. You start taking your heroes in and trying to get them to waste nukes. There goes another nuke on your heroes. That way, in sudden death, when you lose the heroes anyway, they wasted a nuke in the game. But you'll learn that with time. Micro is important, and you just want to stick with the Archangel. He's the most important hero. Like, compared to Odin's, he's way better holding the line. He's way better than, and they might have a bunch of units nuking. Like, if they have a bunch of Odins just creating a wall of nukes, you'll be able to get through with Zeratools and units because they're on a cooldown. And then the nuke doesn't kill Tempest in one hit. It takes 2 or 3 nukes to take out a Tempest. So, and my tanks are just there spawning quick, holding the line. My ghosts are just holding the line, as you can see here. Boom, boom, boom. And he's taking them in. But you can see my kills, they're doubled in some of them. And then TPCA, So right here, I'm trying to get them to waste their nuke on my last, my Zeratools. I go in, start targeting their heroes. I'm microing these. There's another hero, so you can see here. Boom, boom, I locked down that one. He can't get away. He's dead. Link him back. It's at 40. I know I don't want to waste the game. But you can see here, we're starting to just push him back. And we'll just push up there, and now that they've started losing heroes, it's over. They don't have enough heroes to stop our heroes, which we've built up to the point of where I probably have 5 or 4 Archangels. They're sitting back here, protected. So yeah, I have 4 of them. I know, and so they're insulting me now, but he doesn't know I'm the one controlling everything. But I'm just targeting their heroes down one by one, so they don't have those nukes and those barrages, even if they want to use them. So, but as you can see here, he's just so slow on the attack, this Odin, that he's not countering anything. But this is what everyone usually tends to get because they think he's the best because he has that nuke. But it's not like a beginning game nuke. It only does 750 damage. And it takes, 5 seconds to land, so the army can move. You can see here, there's the nuke. They can't stop it. He's probably nuking from way back here. Boom, kills all the little units, but beefy units like Immortals and Colossus and Tempest and Carriers, they're going to live through that. And those are the units you got to kill. So, stick to Archangels. So, pro tip of the day for Terrans, things to remember for Terran: Ghost and tanks, Thors, Ghost and tanks. We'll go over here to the units really quick. Battlecruisers suck. Don't get them. Banshees suck. Don't get them. Warhounds, Thors, Marauders, they suck. Don't even bother with them. Ooh, Dingles. Let's go over them really quick. Dingles, you get about 2 or 3 of these guys, and they repair mechanical units for you. And they're detectors, so they can see stuff. So, they can repair heroes for you if you're damaged a little bit. Gives you a nice little thing. But anything down this middle row here, and these Thors and Battlecruisers, stay away from them. They're pathetic units. The Viking, situational, very situational. They get countered very easily. I tend to leave air to the Toss and Zerg because they're better at it. So we're just going to end there, and I hope you learned something.